Today, I want to talk to you about why you should stop looking for your purpose. Yes, you heard that correctly. Let me back up a little bit. There's this song that's been playing in my head for about a week. It's an old Switch Foot. I think that's the name of the band, old Christian band. Um, Plays this song, Are You Who You're Meant to Be? It's a lyric in one of their songs. I'm not even sure what song it is. I haven't listened to that song in a very long time, but maybe I saw it on the internet, but just been in my head for about a week. And what I've learned is when something is sticking with me, whether it's lyrics, a scene from a movie, a thought, idea, whatever it is, I need to sit down with it and see why it's still popping up. Well, today's video is really pulled from that music line that has been playing in my head, that song that's been playing in my head. Are you who you're meant to be? It's a question in the lyrics. And it's a question I have for you because this is not an uncommon subject. This idea of are you who you're meant to be? Are you living out your purpose? Are you walking out who you're meant to be in this lifetime, in this on the earth as who you are? I've even talked about this. But I started unpacking this a little bit. This idea of the push on purpose. I'm not even saying the song is representative of that. But what came up for me was all the social pushing, all even in the spiritual field, in the churches. Are you walking out in the church? It'd be called your calling. God's called you to do something. Are you walking that out? In the spiritual fields or even in the successful business self-improvement, are you walking out your purpose? But there's something behind that I want to challenge a little bit. I think purpose is good. I think men especially need to have a sense of purpose and mission. They will not feel whole unless they have something that they're anchored into that is mission minded, that is purpose minded, that has a certain drive to it. However, I want to back off of that because there is so much, there's all kinds of resources about how to find that purpose. But there's a lot of people that this is not intuitive to who they are. I need to find my purpose, and they stress about it. They have anxiety about it. Kind of ass backwards, don't you think? Your purpose is causing you anxiety, but there's so many people, especially men. Who am I? What am I here to do? I work the 9 to 5. I work my ass off, but I don't feel like what I do is fulfilling, has purpose, has value to the world, has value to my own soul. It doesn't excite me. I do it because I have to do it. I have family that I have to support. I have kids that I have to make sure are fed and shelter. I have to do the things to make it happen. And I applaud you, those men that are working your ass off and women that are just, you have to do the thing just to make life work for you and your family. I applaud that. And yet you're going, I'm working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week and I'm not fulfilled. I'm satisfied. My family has the things that I need, but I'm not fulfilled. And then there's young people who feel the pressure that society puts on them to figure their life out, and they're not even 18 years old. What are you going to do when you go to college? What college are you going to go to? All of this pressure to figure out who you're meant to be, and they've not even encountered life yet. We have this desire to be successful, but it's not rooted in the reasons that success can warrant. And this is what I mean. If you're successful, you have wealth, you've built businesses, you have people that's underneath of you, or you've built an organization, or you have the resources you need to walk out something that is life-giving to the world. That's awesome. But most people, when they reference success, such as a teenager being asked, What are you going to do when you graduate? And what college are you going to go to? What are you going to become? Even when we're 8 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? These questions really are rooted in insecurity. We have a massive degree of insecurity wrapped around being successful. Who are you meant to be? Are you on the path? What they're asking is, are you on the pathway that's going to ensure that you are financially solvent, right? Financially secure, financially stable, that you have something that you're doing that is respectable, right? There's a lot that's wrapped into the nuances of why we ask these questions, or why society asks these questions, and why we also feel like we need to ask those questions of ourselves. Who am I going to be? It is a big question, and it's a very valid question. And I do not want to negate the validity of this big thing, because we should all be growing towards something. If we're not trying to move towards something or growing towards something, oftentimes without purpose and intention, we're slowly just fading into nothingness. And I know a lot of people that just force themselves up on a Monday morning to get to work, just to get to Friday at 5 p.m., to just let it go. And they repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and they are not happy. So there's a lot that I've kind of thrown out around this idea of purpose. But I want to now come back to my point. To the whole intention of this video is to challenge these ideas. Yes, we need purpose. There's a lot of people that is completely lost, having no direction, no idea who they are, succumb to the system of I must do this, so I'll just surrender to it, and not even realizing they are surrendering to it. They work the 8 to 5 job just to live for the weekend. And there's some people that think they might be happy doing that. Yet their lifestyle, their relationships, their drinking habits on the weekends, the unsatisfied intimate relationships they have with their wife, their spouse, their partner, maybe the struggles they have with their kids say otherwise, that you are not happy. You don't live with purpose. And that's my point here. Let's back off the purpose. Let's rewind this and reframe this question from the song that I brought up at the beginning of the video. Are you who you are meant to be? Now, I want you to direct that question to your internal self, to inside you, not to the world's expectations, not to your own expectations of being in the world, not of your parents' expectations, not of your teachers' expectations, not of whatever it is. Go inside. Who do you want to be in this world? Every time we hear that question or some semblance of that question, we think it's about what we should be doing in the world. And yes, that matters, especially for men, having something that they enjoy. But this question is so heavy because it is the cart before the horse scenario, because this inside has not been met at all. Who are you meant to be? How do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to feel in the world? What kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be a person that lives in fear? Do you want to be a person that is brave and courageous? Who do you want to be? Are you a person that is stressed all the time, has anxiety? Or are you a person that wants to have a sense of freedom about who they are? They're comfortable in their own skin. They have a regulated nervous system. It's not out of regulation. It is not fight or flight mode all the time. What kind of person do you want to be? How do you want to live in the world? I'm talking about the internal world inside you, your nervous system. Are you emotionally insecure or are you emotionally secure? Do you know your emotions? Do you understand your emotional body? Which then leads to, if you understand your emotional body, are you able to show up as you want to in relationships? Or is your relationships always at conflict and you think that's normal? How do you want to be in relationship? Maybe you're married. How do you want to change how you show up? Do you like how you show up for your partner? Do you like how you show up for your kids? Do you like how you show up for yourself? Do you have a lot of self-talk, negative self-talk that's really rooted in some sort of hatred even for yourself? Is that how you want to live? Because here's the truth. Most people, unless they have a special gift where they just see the world and they know how to build something in the world, you will not be able to walk out your purpose, the external purpose, okay, without dealing with your internal self first. We should be asking kids, how do you want to feel when you grow up? I want to feel happy. I want to feel free. I want to feel strong and brave. I want to feel compassionate. I want to feel empathetic. I want to help heal people or bring healing into the world. I want to be a source of healing. I want to be strong. I want to build things. I want to put people on my back and I support them. Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up in the world? It's the cart before the horse. We want to figure out what we want to do as a sense of purpose, as if that will give us the fulfillment that we need. And we're not taught to look inside who we are and really discover how we want to show up internally into an external world. We all have relationships in some facet or another. We all have to show up in some way or another. Are we showing up how we want to? Are we nervous in our relationships? We're scared to express our thoughts, express some parts of ourselves, express what's really and truly on our hearts. Are we scared to share that? Are we able just to speak freely? Are we able to live out our heart and share it and be confident in that? And also be able to receive the heart of somebody else. And what I'm getting to here is now love. Are we able to show up in relationships in love? And this is what it means, not romance, not kind of the Hollywood love that's here, but our hearts are open. They're strong enough. Our emotional system is regulated enough to be able to give love and to receive love, to be able to navigate the difficulties of people's insecurities and people's questions and their doubts and their fears without having it deregulate who we are. And yet, we don't have to distance ourselves to protect ourselves. We're able to still give of our hearts. What kind of person do you want to be? This is really the question that I'm asking you. This is the spiritual question. Because once you have started to heal the inside and start to navigate how you want to feel and who you want to be internally, it is only then that the purpose around you in the external world will start to manifest. Then the steps of what that looks like will start to come through, because then, and finally then, you have the room and the internal ability to walk it out. Most people, if you have no fucking clue what you're here to do on the planet, it's because you're blocked internally. It's not about that right now. It's not about walking out some whatever it is. So this fantasy idea of what you think purpose is. Because the internal has not been met. And our society is built to tell you what to do and never give you the tools to be able to do that from a spiritual and emotional, internal place. And this is why so many people struggle. They want to feel fulfillment, but they can't get there because inside they don't have the capacity to walk out what they're meant to do or who they're meant to be. All of this comes back to our internal world. To find healing for ourselves, to find healing for the past shit that's kind of fucked us up. And we've all had some degree of that. It's to find not the purpose to please the people that's all the voices in our head, but it's to find out who we are meant to be, which means, if you go back to my video, perspective is reality. You are the center of the universe from a place of perspective. This is your world. This is your life. Whether you realize it or not, every day you're making choices to manifest the life that you have. You can stay in pain and bitterness and hatred and anger, or you can walk towards healing. You get to choose that. You can continue to wrestle with purpose and not feeling fulfilled the rest of your life, or you can go inside and go, how do I want to show up as a person, as an emotional and spiritual and physical being in this world? Do I want to live in fear, or do I want to be strong, brave, and courageous? Do I want to live in full authenticity and honesty, or do I want to hide parts of who I am? Do I want to always be in anxiety and nervous and scared? Or do I want to walk in a place of emotional and spiritual and freedom within my own being, within my own skin, within my nervous system? Do I want to be confident with the words that I say, or do I want to be hesitant and uncertain because I'm always thinking about what other people are thinking, and they're not even thinking about you? So much of the world, we think people are thinking about us, and they are not, because they're thinking about what somebody else is thinking, and it's not you. So let's get to the place where we push purpose away and let it organically come back into a healed being. Go find healing first, and purpose will then find you. Go find who you're meant to be on the inside, and you will become who you're meant to be externally to the world.